Hi, it's Evan Roberts of Roberts Pianos Houston, and I have with me a British piano, which is surprising for me. It's a John Brinsmead piano. I found it in Houston, and I thought I've got to get it because I haven't found too many English pianos in the USA, and they're really good. So this is similar cabinet. This style of cabinet is what they call European style. See that kind of slanted edge here, and there's no leg here. The support comes from the back and from this caster here in this case. It's a European style piano. It's the John Brinsmead factory, 1976. I'm not quite sure who made it, if it was made by Knight or somebody else. The frame has K26 on it, K62 sorry, and the frame is made by Knight, which is a well-respected British manufacturer. Now the piano has two pedals, the sustain and the soft pedal. No celestial on this piano. Let's listen to the sound. So the dimensions are 42 inches high by 55 inches wide, and it's 21 inches deep. And now the leg room on this piano, this is not the actual bench from this piano, this is another bench from another piano. We'll give you a bench of the piano. The color might not match exactly, but we have some benches lying around. Now, one thing, if you're tall like me, I'm 6'6", is that there is not enough leg room for me here. I have to bend my leg sideways and then play with my pedal sideways, which is not good for the long run. So if you want to choose a piano, we have the leg room here is 23.25 inches high. So for myself, I'll be looking at maybe lowering the bench a bit, because your elbow's supposed to be in line with the keys. But I would sit down on the bench and then measure the height from the floor to the top of your knees, because you need some clearance. So I'm looking for 25 inches for myself. Now we've checked the piano behind. It has everything's fine, soundboard, everything. The pitch was A32 when it came into stock. It was very bright, and I'll show you an audio example of what it was before. Many times people watching videos on this channel of what bright versus mellow sounds like. This piano before we voiced it was very bright, and now it sounds more mellow. It doesn't sound mellow, but it sounds more mellow. Now let's have a look on the inside. Now in terms of the touch, I've notated on here that I think that the key height, if we raise the key height to 2 inches and 3/8, 2 and 3/8 inches, we get enough space. So this one here, we get enough space with 11 millimeters key tip to get some aftertouch. So that's what we're going to aim for on this action. So we're going to raise all the keys to 2 and 3/8. The hammer blows a little bit far away, but I think it's okay. Now interestingly, UK pianos have the hammer blow rail separate to this rail here. That's just an interesting British thing really. And then here's some of the work we did on the hammers. That's bright. From this E was really bright. Bit better now. This G all the way up to this D was bright, but I voiced it yesterday, and that's all being voiced. I did some bass voicing as well. Now in terms of the touch, the key things that we're going to do here is obviously lift up the keys, change how deep they go, and we're also going to do some rebushing of the keys. So these keys are wobbling. That will improve the touch quite a bit because it will feel more solid. See, the bushing's gone here, so we'll do that, rebush those. Just check them really. That one's loose here. What's happened is that the bushing is corroded on one side, or the left-hand side. It's just totally gone in. So the right-hand side is fine, but it's wobbling into that gap on the left hand side. So we'll redo that. Bushings on the ones that are damaged, and we've sanded down the hammers, and then I voiced the hammers. The dampers are good. Now there's a couple other things on the touch. This springs here is not coming back. The jack's not coming back, so I have to check that the springs are good. That's important. The tapes look good, the action parts look good themselves, so we can work with this piano. Just some bushings here, some springs I think, and then some regulation. And then maybe just check the voicing. But I quite like it now. This reminds me of being in England. Actually, there's so many of these pianos in England. One thing, there's a broken string up here in the treble, so I had to replace that. You can hear it. That's just a broken string. We'll replace that. So the tone is much better than it was a couple of days ago.